Hi everyone, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. It is May 2nd and we have some sun activity going on. You can see here on the left side of the image of the sun, sunspot region 4079. It's continuing to grow and is now able to encompass Earth 7 times over. The magnetic structure of this region is also becoming slightly more favorable for solar flares, with forecasters saying that there is a chance of a powerful X-class flare today. X-class flares are big ones and can sometimes trigger northern light displays. As this sunspot region turns to face Earth more directly, any future flares gain more and more interest. This sunspot cluster is so big you can see it with the naked eye with solar eclipse glasses. The last time I remember this happening was during the Carrington event. I'm not saying we're going to have a Carrington event. That was like a X-class 44. It was really powerful. But back then we didn't have all the electronics, the infrastructure for electricity like we got now. And back then they did have telegraph wires that actually caught on fire. And that was in 1859, I believe. So here we have the sun and the rotation of that sunspot that's coming around. There hasn't been anything major lately for solar flares. Just some M-class yesterday, and I'll show you that. Here we have M 2.01. And there was a C 7.3, it looks like. Here we have the Solar Prediction Center showing the disk. And let me play this. It'll go through showing the impacts to the Earth. The Earth is the little green dot right there. So it starts out, and that was yesterday. And it looks like today we're going to be hit with some solar winds through tomorrow. And I'll let it play through once again so you can get a better idea what might be coming. They're predicting maybe a G2 solar winds, interference with GPS and satellites, things like that. Our power grids. And speaking of power grids, I want to show you this too. This here is the geoelectric field, 1 minute, showing the impacts where alarms might go off. It shows the time and the date here. So we'll just run it through. Yeah, certain areas. Let me explain this a little bit too. The geoelectric field is a measure of induction hazard to artificial conductors, such as electrical power lines, that result from the geomagnetic activity and can be used to estimate the amount of current induced by integrating along the conductive pathway. This is the 3D model. It uses to transfer functions from different surveys to specify the contribution of the Earth conductivity to the planet. Yeah, you notice, we got Montana, and up there along the border, yep, and then the East Coast. Potential hazards are things where the geoelectrical field can be induced during geomagnetic storms. These geomagnetic storms are a form of space weather driven by enhanced currents in the Earth's magnetosphere and the ionosphere, and are observed at ground level as a time-varying magnetic field. So these would be areas where they could have fluctuations of power, GPS, anything that's here on Earth, your television, radio, things like that. You could even possibly have power outages and the alarms for the power stations would be going off. Something's definitely going on between the Earth and the Sun. I often wonder if we're not heading towards a magnetic pole reversal here on the Earth. Also, there's one coming for the Sun. This here is the solar cycle sunspot number, and you can see we're at the peak of the solar cycle, and it's supposed to be dropping down. But what's interesting is we're having these lower magnitude of solar flares that seem to be impacting the Earth a lot greater than what they used to. And that's got a lot to do with our magnetic field here on Earth, which is getting weaker. So the smaller solar flares are impacting the Earth at a greater and greater rate. Here's the latest image of the Sun and different coronal holes. Coronal holes are cooler areas of the Sun that are cooler than the brighter areas that's hotter. And solar winds come out of these coronal holes and impact the Earth. They are also saying that geomagnetic storms are possible today. NOAA forecasters say that a minor G1 may be as high as a G2 class geomagnetic storm are possible today, which is May 2nd, as a fast-moving stream of solar wind buffers the Earth's magnetic field. If we did get a G2 solar storm, there is a slight chance that auroras would be visible after nightfall in the northern parts of the United States. This is the current KP index. It is used as an indicator of disturbance on the Earth's magnetic field. And then here we have the Soho movie theater. I have it going back to the 30th. There's looks like an asteroid or something that goes by really fast here on the Sun, and it goes all the way through today, what it's showing. There was one flare, I believe that was on the 30th. That was fairly significant. Yeah, the 30th. Okay. So that's all I have for you right now. If you have any thoughts or comments, please put it down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you very much for your support. Boy, I really appreciate it. I don't have sponsors like other channels do, and just rely on the ads that YouTube shows. But if you could thumbs up my videos, that might help with the ranking. You just don't know. Always be prepared for a disaster. This coming sunspot could be very bad. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.